Hello YouTube. Today I'm making a video that I'm very excited to make. It's mainly for XFCE desktop, and it's mainly also for Arch-based Linux. But if you're running a different desktop or you're running a different distro, you can still make use of a lot of the info in here and then figure stuff out on your own to get it working in whatever your Linux you're running. Let me start with a little bit of PdaNet history and why I'm so excited to make this video. Years ago, there was an app called Foxfi, and I don't know if they sold out to another company, but they changed the name to PdaNet, and they made a new app for it, the PdaNet app, and that app was kind of a breakthrough because it incorporated something called the Wi-Fi Direct Hotspot. And Wi-Fi Direct was a feature that came out to Android, I think in Lollipop. I might be wrong about that. But with the Wi-Fi Direct, it was a protocol for internet sharing, kind of like Bluetooth. Not for internet sharing, I'm sorry, for file sharing, similar to Bluetooth, and except much faster than Bluetooth. And it used your hotspot to share files. Well, PdaNet figured out a way to share internet through this file transfer protocol, and it was just a breakthrough because the carriers. I should add, this is also mainly for Americans because people overseas from America don't have to worry about this. They have unlimited hotspot with their service. But we Americans know the pain of only having limited hotspot available to us and having to pay ridiculous amounts to go over, if you go over your hotspot limit. Now check this. Where was I? Well, PdaNet figured out a way to share internet data through the Wi-Fi Direct hotspot. And the carriers couldn't see it. Actually, nowadays they can see it, I believe, because my hotspot use goes up when I use it. But when I hit the maximum, here, let me show you. First, well, let's go ahead and get into the tutorial. All right, check this out. First, I'm going to show you that how to check your proxy settings. I'm going to put echo, then the sign for a string, and then HTTP. That's the $sign, of course. HTTP proxy. And as you see, it shows nothing. There is no HTTP proxy engaged. So now I'm actually have it on right now, but here's a program that's pretty cool. I use this so that you can see my Android screen right here on the computer screen. It's called GUI SCR CPY, GUI screen copy, and you of course have to have SCR CPY installed for it to work, but that pulls up my Android screen so you can see it. Now I want to make sure I have Wi-Fi is on, which it is, and then the PdaNet app, and I also have the Foxfi key because I paid for PdaNet years ago. Now check this out. I have it, as you see, it's on, and I'm connected, and as you can see down here, I'm connected to the Direct 75 Moto G Stylus PdaNet ESSID, or a broadcast name. Now when I connect, being that there's no HTTP proxy, like, I won't be able to use it. What we have to do is right here, you connect to the PdaNet hotspot, you put the password, and then right here the proxy. That's what we need right here, the proxy IP. With that IP address we can connect. And right now I do have one thing set up to connect, and that's Firefox, and that's because of this video right here, put out by Low Spec Linux Laptop. He made this video, and it's 3 years old, and I miss it. I missed it for years, but I saw it, I guess, about a month ago, and it opened up a whole new world for me in trying to connect PdaNet. Now, the PdaNet website has looked the same for many years now. I suppose they got rich and just gave up messing with it because, well, heck, they're rich. But now that I've tried to configure Linux to use this, I see why. For years now, it has said that it would be coming to more platforms soon, and all us Linux users in America were probably hopeful that there would be a Linux release coming out of the PdaNet app to receive the data sent by the Wi-Fi Direct hotspot. Well, years later, it still looks exactly with the same promise to come to new platforms soon, and it looks like something out of the Flintstones. It's an old-looking website, but it's still working to this day, and thanks to this video right here, I started looking into how to connect other things, because this video shows you how to connect Firefox. As you can see, I'm in Firefox right now. And just to give you a breakdown, what you do is you come over here to your preferences, or I guess they changed it to settings now with the last update. And then you type proxy in the search. You hit for your proxy settings, and right here, I set this to the exact, as it says here, right here, the proxy, you put the IP address there and the port number there, and then you click this, also use the proxy for FTP and HTTPS. When you check that, and originally I think it was on use system proxy settings, but anyway, that's how you set Firefox up to receive it, and Firefox will use that proxy, and all of a sudden it has internet. Now, this video showed me how to do that, and it just opened up a whole new world, and I've been going crazy trying to figure out how to connect all things system-wide, and that was it's turned out to be quite a chore to connect system-wide on XFCE anyway. And I think I realize now why there was never a release for Linux, because Linux seems to use, well, each thing seems to use its own proxy settings, each package. So it's hard to make things just system-wide, at least in XFCE. I've noticed in KDE there's settings that don't seem to work for setting system-wide proxies, but in XFCE there's really not. So here is, okay, now another hero in this story is this guy right here. First, this is the I'll try to remember to include a link for this. This is the place where I figured out how to at least set my HTTP and HTTPS proxies. And here's the hero of the story right here, xabbu. This guy xabbu from Germany spends a lot of time helping me to figure out how to get PdaNet to work, at least in a terminal, which I did. Thanks to him, I figured out, and I'm going to share with you now. It's a long thread with, we were trying a lot of different things, and it turns out it was as simple as this. I opened up a extra window in there. Close. All right. Now, the way to do it is to put export HTTP proxy equals, and then you're supposed to put some symbols here, but I found it works if you just put the address 192.168.49.1 and then colon 8000 for the port number, and then enter. And if we run that echo HTTP proxy string again, as you can see, my proxy was changed. Now it's now the correct proxy for HTTP. And then I found, well, or he told me you can also do it for HTTPS by adding an S to the HTTP, hitting enter, and then our HTTPS proxy is now, is now correct. Now I can run a speed test, and it should connect, and it is connecting, as you see. Now I use Metro PCS, and I'm going to show you the results of the thing that I'm going to show you. as you can see, it's collecting, and it's looking for a server, pinging different servers, and it's going to do a speed test in just a second when it finds the best server. Now, right here, this is my Metro PCS page, and as you can see, well, this is the month I figured it out. I guess was March. In March, I learned this stuff, and I went crazy using my hotspot that month because I build Android, and well, to build Android, you got to sync a whole lot of source code, whole lot. I'm talking like 80, 100 gigs, sometimes near 100 gigs, just to build one ROM. So that's how I got my data usage so high that month. Then I already had some stuff synced to play with, so I didn't use as much the next month. And this month, 51.5 is what I've used, and as you can see, I've used up all my hotspot data. I should not have a hotspot connection at all, but PdaNet Wi-Fi Direct hotspot is making it work with the Wi-Fi Direct protocol instead of using a regular hotspot protocol. And although I think Metro PCS can spot it, and this sometimes it goes up and sometimes it doesn't. But as you can see, I'm maxed out. I've used all my hotspot data, and yet look, I did a speed test. It's not very fast, but that's because I've used up all my 35 gigs that they allow you for your high-speed internet, and then they give other people priority. So that's what the problem is now. It's Sunday, and a lot of people are on the internet, so it's giving them priority over me because I've used up my 35 gigs of just regular usage. So that's why it's a little slow right now, because it's Sunday and a lot of people are on the internet. Okay, now that here's something for Arch users. I found a program in the AUR called ProxyMan. Of course, you can install it with Yay or with Pamac if you're on Manjaro. And Arch users, you use whatever, I guess, Yay to install it. But check this out. ProxyMan has some cool stuff. And it claims to set system-wide proxy settings. It really doesn't, but it does set a lot of proxy settings. Like, let's do ProxyMan load. Now, I use ProxyMan set to make this little configuration, and now I can load the configuration I saved with ProxyMan load 1. And what it is, it sets my HTTP proxy, my HTTPS, my FTP to 8000, port 8000 on this IP. And I never changed no proxy. I just hit enter on that, and I set up a user. Okay, I put a password. It knows the password, and these are the things that it changes. All of them is what I always select. Like right now, I'm going to hit ProxyMan's, put 1 for all of them, which will of course engage the proxy on all these things, like Git. I use Git for syncing source code, all the time. So that's a good thing for me. I don't know what Docker is. I don't know what, well, Dropbox I don't use, but I don't know what either of these are. But it sets those. I'm going to hit enter, and now it says I have to restart my bash RC. I have to source it to restart bash to get it to work, so I'm going to do that. Or actually, you can just kill that terminal and open a new one, and it'll be sourced. We already had it set with echo, and I did know the file. It's somewhere in this Manjaro thread where I was searching for the answer. It tells you which file that gets changed when you export a proxy, but I don't know which one. All I know is ProxyMan adds all these exports to bash.bashrc. Oops. And here's what the things that it adds right there. Okay, this is stuff, well, above, right to there, those are exports I added to my bash RC for building Android. But all this stuff that starts with all these exports that include proxy, all those were added by ProxyMan. So I assume all these commands would work if you just wanted to export, say, the Git. I bet you could just run the one for Git. don't even see it actually, so I'm not sure how exactly. But anyway, ProxyMan sets all these, and I know I can now use Git, but I probably could have anyway. I'll get to that in a minute. This might seem jumbled. I just woke up. I haven't completed my coffee drinking yet, but once that's set, here are the things that I found. I had an incredibly hard time, and I cannot tell you how to connect a virtual machine unless you have a dongle Wi-Fi card. But I have figured out a lot of things, man. As soon as you run this export commands, your terminal becomes able to use the proxy. And okay, first let me show you this. Pacman will not use the proxy. Or no, I'm sorry, sudo will not use the proxy with Pacman. Let me show you. Say I wanted to sync my repos, my local repos with the server repo. Watch this. We'll do sudo pacman -syy, and that should sync my repos. Failed. Well, I did a little research and I found that sudo will not work with Pacman through a proxy. I'm going to go ahead and kill it. And then what you got to do, sudo, oh, I screwed that up, didn't I? Oh, heck. Let's see. -E. Sudo -E, and all of a sudden it's synchronizing. So anytime you use Pacman, use sudo -E, and it makes it connect. Now if you were to say, well, I can't think of much Pacman that doesn't need sudo, but like I guess Pacman -Q for like to query your local packages still works, but without the sudo, you know. It's the sudo command that actually needs the -E, not really the Pacman itself, I don't think. But anyway, we got that working. Now Yay is a little tricky because when you get Yay from the repository, it's compiled with GCC. I'm sorry, it's compiled with Go, as whatever Go does. Now, if you recompile Yay with gcc-go, which I have installed, but I haven't recompiled it yet, so I can't really show you how it works, but I did do it in KDE, and Yay started working. So I know that if you recompile it with gcc-go instead of Go, it makes Yay use the proxy settings. But like if I wanted to show you a query, I can do pacman q go. And as you see, I've got gcc-go instead of the regular Go. So I can, if I were to recompile Yay right now and build it with make package, to build it from the R with this installed instead of regular Go, it would be able to use the proxy settings. I can tell you that. I can't show you because I haven't recompiled it yet. But anyway, there's that. Now Pamac, on the other hand, uses in Manjaro XFCE anyway, it will use the proxy settings straight out of the box. Straight out of the box. You don't have to do anything to change it. It will just use it. Like if I wanted to, I don't know, what can I install? I can't think of anything. Well, I can probably do an update. Let's see, down here I'm looking. I don't need an update right now, but let's try update, and then I'll put -A to also get the stuff from the R. It's preparing, and as you can see, it is finding stuff to do. Uh-oh. It looks like it's gonna do some stuff, but as you can see, it's working straight out of the box. It's Pacman's the only thing I've found that needs that -E. Edit build files, apply, yes. We'll go ahead and apply it. I'll open another terminal if... Okay, now here's another thing I need to tell you about. if you only run the export commands and don't run ProxyMan, each time you open a terminal, you're going to have to run those export commands again, because your new terminals you open aren't going to be using the proxy settings. So remember that if you open a new terminal, if you're not using ProxyMan. And all this is mainly for XFCE. I probably shouldn't have done that. GCC 6, yeah, I don't want to do that. It's going to probably fail anyway. The reason, never mind. We won't get into that, but that's going to take a while actually. So I use ProxyMan, so I'm going to open a new terminal. Now, things like, some things I had trouble figuring out, but in some things I figured out right away. Now, first of all, you can't set the proxy settings in Chrome or Chromium like you can in Firefox. I looked into it a little bit, but then I found this, it looked kind of complicated in how to set the settings for it. But I did find that after running the export command or ProxyMan, you can use a terminal and watch, when I come over here and I open Chrome from over here, it's not going to use the proxy settings, and it's not going to have a connection. Okay, like if I do a DuckDuckGo for something, it should come back, this site can't be reached. Okay, because it's not using the proxy settings. Even though ProxyMan claims to make changes system-wide, maybe it does for some desktops, but for XFCE it doesn't. But now I've aliased this to Chrome. I think originally you had to type Google Chrome stable or something. You had to type that whole thing to open Chrome from a terminal, but I aliased it to just say Chrome. And now I've opened Chrome, and let's try a search for something. It's now connected. So when you open things from the terminal and the terminal has the proxy settings set, it will, whatever you open is going to use the proxy. Now I'm now connected. I can do downloads, searches, whatever I want, and it's, even though my hotspot is used up with Metro, I can do whatever I want. You know what I mean? And they can't seem to stop me. And you know, here's something that might tickle you. It tickles me. Check this out. If I go down here to my Moto G stylus, and I can show you, let's see, what's the best way to get there? I guess we'll just go to apps. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'll probably show you. Watch this. PdaNet. I'm going to go there. And mobile data and Wi-Fi. Look, I've used 40. It's used 40 gigs. That means I've hotspotted through PdaNet 40 gigs this month. Since June 1st, actually, I guess. And today's only June 6th. So in the last 6 days, I've hotspotted 40 gigs to my Linux, and that's because I'm having trouble building Android, so I'm syncing the Lineage OS source code. So because that's kind of my tester. First, if I can build Lineage, then I know my environment's right, and I can go on and I have better confidence building other things and knowing my environment's right. So I'm syncing Lineage OS. That's why I've got such a large. That's why I've used so much hotspot in the last 6 days. But anyway, I just wanted to show you that. Even though my hotspot is used up, I can still hotspot, which is awesome. I can also start Chromium that way, and Kodi. Kodi, I'm not going to show you for time reasons, but if I open Kodi over here, like if I hit that, it's not going to be connected. I'm not going to be able to watch a thing. But if I run Kodi from the terminal, which has a connection, it will be connected. So that's awesome. So we got Kodi working. Now virtual machines are a different story. Virtual machines and Telegram. I have not figured out how to connect Telegram. Now Telegram's interesting because Kodi's not killing. Oh yeah, It died. Okay, now I cannot make Telegram connect, even though it has its own settings for proxy. Where is it? Network type and connection type. It says connecting through proxy. I have it set, and I have everything set correctly here, but it will not connect. And so I don't know if the Telegram's just buggy, the Telegram app, but the only way I can use Telegram on my computer now is to use Telegram Web in a browser, which it's a little bit lacking, I think, but I mean, it's still great that you can still use Telegram, but that's the only way I've found is to do a search for Telegram Web and use the web app for Telegram. Okay, close. We close that. Now virtual machines. This is the thing, and this is the reason I took so long to make this video. I wanted to figure out how to connect virtual machines before I made this video. Now, virtual machines are a little different. I went through a long thing trying to, I guess KDE has something special to launch. What was it? Hell, I can't even remember. KRunner. You could use something, an add-on to KRunner called VBox Runner, but I couldn't get it working right on XFCE. I tried and tried. But what I did figure out is to use a USB dongle. All you hackers already know that the way to connect a virtual machine is to use a dongle. Like if you want to use any packet injection or monitor mode and things like that, you have to use a dongle in your virtual box, your virtual machine. So I'm going to show you just real quick how to configure VirtualBox if you're running virtual machines. I usually have a Manjaro KDE, but I decided to redo it. I can't remember why. But like if I want to, the only place I will run Windows is in a virtual machine, because it destroyed a bunch of stuff on one update. I had to reinstall my Linux, and I was back long years ago when I was learning to build Android, and all of my learning I had to redo because I lost all the files and tutorials I had saved because of a Windows 10 update, and I won't allow Windows on my hard drive anymore after that. Okay, now up here you can find devices, and like if I were to run IPA will show me my network interfaces. As you see, here, there's my WLP4S0, that's my internal Wi-Fi card, and WLP0S20- or whatever, right there, WLP0, well, you see it right there. That is my interface for my dongle, which is an awesome dongle. You can get it at Office Depot, by the way, if you're in America, and it's about, if you don't buy it online on the Office Depot site, it's 18 bucks if you walk into the store and just buy it. 18 bucks. It supports packet injection. It supports monitor mode, and it's 18 bucks at Office Depot. It's made by J5 Create, and it's awesome. You can get it right away. I also have an alpha that I use for long range, but it doesn't stay connected as well as this one. Well, I forget the chipset of it. Let's see. Let's check it. Maybe Raylink. Oops. I guess I'm in too much of a hurry here. Raylink. Yeah, it's a Raylink. And also actually, to tell you the truth, my Intel also supports monitor mode and packet injection, but I can't use it in my virtual machine. I can't hand it over to the virtual machine, but USB devices I can right here. See, USB, I can hand this USB to my virtual machine, but first I want to go into settings, the machine settings, and I will go to network. And as you can see, I already have the default would be an NAT connection, and that's not what you want. You want to put bridged adapter, and of course I can select my Ethernet, my internal wireless card, which I'm surprised you can even select that, but it lets you. But you can't hand the device over in the devices. So I'm going to select my external, my USB dongle Raylink right there, and we know it's that because I ran IPA and found that interface. And then I go to advanced, and if I was running a Linux, I would probably uncheck cable connected, but being that I'm going to Windows, I'll just leave cable connected. Okay, so now it's set for bridged adapter, and once that's done, and I will warn you, if I don't have my Raylink plugged in and try to start this virtual machine, it will give me an error, and I will have to go into machine settings and change it back to like NAT, or at least change the bridged adapter mode to use either my internal or the ENP interface that it gave. But it will not open the virtual machine if that Raylink isn't plugged in. Once you set it the way I just showed you, it will not open this virtual machine unless that's plugged in, unless I change the settings. That's just a warning. Don't worry. Just go into your network settings. If your virtual machine won't open, just go back into your machine settings to network and set it for NAT. And once you do that, your virtual machine will open again. But now I'm going to go to devices, USB, and I'm going to hand over that Raylink. And it's going to be, actually, it's this is MediaTek one, 802.11 WLAN. I'm going to hand that to the Windows 10. Of course, log in, I guess. And you heard it, ding, ding, ding. That's saying it detected a USB plugged in. And I can now go, USB device not recognized. Uh-oh. Well, I don't know. It should be recognized, I think. Check it out. No, it's not recognized, not working. Well, devices. I'm going to unplug it from the virtual machine, and I'm going to unplug it from the system. I just unplugged it out of my laptop and plugged it back in. Oh, I dropped it on the floor actually. Plugging it back in now. Go back to devices. Oh, shoot. It's not there. Huh. Oh, look. Oh no, that's actually the disk. Maybe that's my problem. I still haven't installed the disk, but I shouldn't have to. It should find. I believe I've run it before in this virtual machine. Of course, I don't use Windows very often. Maybe I haven't. Devices, USB. There's the MediaTek. Okay. Well, look at that. Well, actually, I guess I haven't used it in here. I have used my Atheros Alpha adapter, but it's not in the room now. I guess I can pause and go get it. I think I will. Alright, I'm going to pause this video for just a second. I'll be right back with you. And I am recording. Okay. Let me close this. Alright, I am back, and I have unplugged my J5 Create one, which will work in Windows. I think I haven't installed the disk that comes with it yet. Really, a Windows update should do it because it's Windows 10, but anyway, it's not recognizing it, so I went and I got my Alpha long range adapter with its 9 decibel antenna. Hey, can you turn that back on? Or did you do that? What? Never mind. The fan went off. I lost power in here. The fan? Yeah. I just lost power. Oh. I'm making a video. And in fact, it's recording right now. Well, I don't know. It's okay though. I'm on the laptop, so it's still running battery. Huh, that's odd. Okay. Well, Sorry, technical difficulties, but we can still continue here. I just plugged in the alpha, and I'm going to go to that terminal and run that last command again. Not that one. That one. Uh-oh, it's not picking up the alpha. And that's why I don't use the alpha. It's like maybe my cord, but it doesn't stay connected very well. Let's try this. No, nothing. I'll plug it in on the other side. Oh, I hate this. Oh, why you got to give me trouble when I'm making a video? All right, try it again. And no, it's not there. Oh gosh. Oh, that's not plugged in right. Come on. Come on, let's go. Oh. Paula. Nah, never mind. Yeah, I'm making a video. I'm recording right now. Just so you know. Yeah, it's okay if you talk, I guess, but okay, I see it glowing blue, so I think it's working now. Let's try it. IPA, yes. As you can see, I'm plugged into the same USB port, and that is plugged in. Now I can go to devices. And there it is, a Theros. And I have just connected to a Theros. Now my bridged adapter settings are still the same because I plugged into the same port. Oh, what's that? Choose backup. I hate Windows. I really do. The only reason I even have a Windows virtual machine is for using Odin on Samsung devices. That's the only thing left. They may say that Heimdall is like Odin for Linux. Shoot. I tell you, I've been messing with Androids for years and I can't figure out Heimdall. I have no idea how that sucker works. And I've been building ROMs for 5 years now probably. And I cannot figure out Heimdall. So if you know Heimdall on Linux, you're a better man than I am. But now check this out. If I go down here, look at that. I can pick up Wi-Fi networks now. In a virtual machine, I just had to use a working, an actual USB dongle Wi-Fi card, and I guess any of them would work, even if whether they support packet injection and monitor mode doesn't matter. I only told you about the Raylink because it's neat that you can get one without having to wait for an eBay mailman, to bring your stuff. You can just pick one up at Office Depot. None of the ones at Walmart support Linux, you can't get monitor mode and packet injection on the ones they sell at the Walmart stores. So that's neat that Office Depot has one that supports that. Because most laptops you can't do that with your internal. This laptop you can. I've got a ThinkPad. I can't even remember the name. It's a T440p, I think. And it does support it with its Intel. Well, I guess that's pretty much everything. If there's anything else, I'm not thinking of it. And but that's enough to get you started. If you're not in XFCE and not on an Arch-based distro, it's enough there to get you started, and maybe you can figure things out. If anyone figures out how to how to connect Telegram, please let me know, because I think that they've got a bug where their proxy settings aren't working correctly. I think that's the issue. But if I'm doing something wrong, someone please let me know. And well, Linux on, I guess. You guys have a good one and enjoy. Bye.